Welcome to the third week of the Business Management Capstone course. First of all, I'd like to thank each team for meeting with me within the past 2 weeks. They were great sessions, excellent questions. Hopefully I was able to answer all of them. If I was not, as always, feel free to reach out to me. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, we have the announcements for week 3, which covers what assignments you should be working on. But instead of starting here, I like to go through the weekly modules just to make sure everyone is actually accessing the weekly modules. So I'm going to go ahead and click on weekly modules. I'm just going to go ahead and click on the week 3 chapter 1 link. Okay, the format for the module should always be the same. We start out with the learning objectives that you want to review. Then you're going to want to scroll down and look at the assignment summary. Obviously you're watching the week 3 overview video right now. For this week, for the module review, you want to read Chapter 1, review the PowerPoint presentation for Chapter 1, and of course review LearnSmart documentation if you have never used LearnSmart before. I'm assuming probably most of you, if not all of you, have though. And then you get down to the assignments. The course participation, which is a discussion board for a competitive advantage. Then the Chapter 1 LearnSmart that you must complete. The decisions for the practice year 7 within Globus, which you should be familiar since you already completed the practice year 6 last week. And then there's a quiz on Chapter 1. Next we have the Module 3 course content. Please make sure you review this information. So if I go ahead and click on it. So here's where you can access the PowerPoint. There's also a link on the left-hand side to get to it also. Here's the biggest one I want to really make sure I point out this week. Is key financial ratios, how to calculate them, and what they mean. I've seen a lot of questions on the discussion board relating to how items are calculated. So this information should really assist you. So if you simply just click on where it says click here to open or save the document. And this gives you topics such as gross profit margin, net profit, total return on assets, so on and so forth. So definitely spend some time with this document and make sure you understand it. As always, if you ever have any questions, please reach out to me or your team members. That's why you have a team. Let me go ahead and jump back to Blackboard. So what we also have within the content folder is information about LearnSmart if you haven't used it before, and very straightforward. And the same Globus simulation information that you should have already reviewed by now, but I posted there just to make sure that it's catching your attention if you have not. Keep in mind, we already spent 2 weeks on Globus, so you should at least have a general understanding of the simulation. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the week 3 module. Next, we have the course participation competitive advantage assignment. So basically, you're going to choose one of these companies within step 1. And I may actually add companies, so if it looks a little bit different after this video, it's probably just where it's going to be a document that you open up to review all the companies. I'm just going back and forth about it, but most likely I will, because I want there to be more to choose from. Then you have step 2, you want to perform research on the chosen company, whichever one you pick. Okay, and then you have to answer the below questions. You know, how does the company set itself apart from its competitors? Does it compete on price, quality, service, or innovation? How does the company communicate these competitive advantages to customers? And then the last step is step 3. Once you have created your initial post, you must make a comment on at least 2 other posts. And when I'm saying comment, I don't want to just see great job, good point. You know, I want to see some substance to your comment. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Why is that? I just don't want to see, hey, great job, and that's it. Okay, moving on, you have your LearnSmart. Simply just click on the link, and it should open up where you're going to read the textbook. As you're reading, you're going to be asked questions for you to respond to. Next, we have the Chapter 1 quiz. Should be very straightforward. And last but not least is the practice round year 7 within Globus. Like I said, this should be very familiar to you. You already completed year 6. You got to spend 2 weeks on it. So this is going to year 7. I've had a lot of questions within the discussion board from last week about the decisions and how they are graded. And this is how it is, okay? So if your team makes decisions, say everyone on your team makes decisions within Globus, okay? You could do it together, you can do it individually, but you're making decisions. And you're doing well. Maybe you're not top of the pack, but I can see that the decisions you are making are having an impact. You're moving forward. You will always get 100%. Now, if I could see your decisions make no sense and you're going in the reverse direction as everyone else, your team will receive a 0. Now, if you're wondering, what if you have a team of 3, 2 people are making decisions, 1 person isn't even responding to emails, let alone communicating in any form, then please just notify me. The 2 team members who are making the decisions will receive credit. The other one will not. It's that simple. That's on me. Don't ever stress about another team member. If you tried working with them and they won't have it, then just communicate to me and I'll take it from there. With that said, I do hope all teams will work together. Like I said, in the past, only 1 team last semester, I truly had issues the entire semester. For the most part, after a few weeks, everyone was able to get on the same page. So, all right, moving on. So I went through the different assignments for this week. If you notice on the left-hand side, under the weekly modules, you have a link to the discussion board, Globus information, Learn Smart, the quizzes, and cases. Okay, well, we don't have a case assigned yet. That's coming though. These are just a quick link so you don't have to dig through the weekly module to get to the assignment. With that said, I do hope you do go through the weekly module first to make sure you touch on the learning objectives, the assignment summary, the course content for that module, so on and so forth. After that, then by all means, use those quick links to save you time. That's what they're there for. So now let's go ahead and jump into Globus. Okay, now I have Globus open. The biggest mistake that most teams make is they get comfortable with the decisions, but what they do not do is review the reports. Notice at the top, it says Decisions and Reports menu. So the very first part is the decisions. Everyone made decisions last week. Great job. And you didn't really have much to look at yet. Now you do. So if I scroll down here, now I can camera and drone journal. Here's the information you should be looking at. So each team has access to this. If I click on scoreboard, I'm going to see the different companies. And let me scroll down a little bit. Okay. So we can clearly see the number 1 team is Team D, Dynamic Digital, at a weighted average score of 106. Now, I know what I'm going to get asked right away is, how did they get that score? What's 106? You know, what's the investor expectation score? What's best in the industry score? So on and so forth. Keep in mind, you have this help button right here. If I click on it, it's going to open up the manual. It defines all these different topics for you. Okay, so take the time to review this. All these different manuals also are out on Blackboard for you too. Now, of course, to me, if I was going through reports and I had a question, I would just simply click on the help button and scroll through the PDF document to figure out the answer to it. So keep in mind, there shouldn't really be any guesswork to what a score means to you. Okay. Let me go ahead and jump back to Globus. So next we have Team G at 103, Team A at 100, so on and so forth. And then we go all the way to the bottom, and then we have Team K ranked number 11. The concerning point to me, and not only Team K, but Team I, Innovative Icons, is they're at 55 and 57. You see the gap between 9 and 10, 81 to 57. So to me, if I was just glancing at the scoreboard and wondering who's on the right track, I would say Team B, H, E, J, F, C, A, G, D. Obviously, they're on the right track. Anywhere from the 80s all the way up to 106. I would have concerns already immediately with Team I and Team K. Now, that does not mean you can't turn this around. You can. These are just the 2 practice rounds. But I'm just wanting to bring this to your attention. This is what I did last semester when it was in person, to make sure I point out that you should be analyzing these reports to get better. So if I move down the game to date scoreboard, obviously it's going to be the same. We've only done 1 year so far, so not too much of an impact there. We'll go ahead and move to page 2 here. Now right now you only have 1 year to go by, so not too much, information to help you out. But the reason why I'm pointing it out, so in the future you know what you should be looking at. Okay. So you may be asking yourself, well, what does the bolded number mean? That means you're meeting expectation. What's the highlighted number means? you're the best in the industry, okay? So obviously, Team D, great job, return on equity, 24.9, you're the best, okay? Everyone else is bolded, you're meeting expectations. So don't take it as you have to be the best. You may not have to be the best and still beat everyone out for the overall score, okay? So it's not like being the best in every single category. To me, if I'm like Team G, they're 23.2. They're not the best, but they're right there. So if I was them, I wouldn't be too worried. So keep that in mind. And then if I scroll down here to stock price, Team D again, great job. Okay, they're at 47.19 for the stock price. They're highlighted, so they're the best. Everyone else is bold. You're meeting expectations. Still good job. Okay, same way with Team G. They're at 41. Okay, and Team A's at 37. So the ones, again, I would be concerned with, which I believe I already pointed out, was Team I and Team K. Very low. Only 1 year. And technically, once we get past the practice rounds, you may have a down year because you're investing in the future without trying to give away too much strategy. Okay, so 1 year being down or 2 years being down potentially could be okay in the future if you have something kind of behind the scenes that you're working on. So next we have credit rating. Okay, so for the credit rating, for the most part, everyone's pretty good. It seemed like last semester, most teams ended up with A-, A, or A+. So there's only one B-, which is Team B. But, you know, I'm not really too concerned with that right now. I think most likely by this year, I should say, year 7, you'll probably bring it back up. Image rating. So here's image rating. So then again, or I shouldn't say then again, actually G has the highest one now. Ones that bold are meeting expectations. And to me, there's not really one that I would be that concerned about. I mean, E is at 60, but I think they could bring that up throughout the years. And with being only, this is the practice year 7, you probably won't be able to bring up to expectations. But once we go into the true year 6 and then work through the different years, I believe you're okay. So there, I really have no concerns for anyone. I think everyone's okay. So next we have the competitive intelligence information here. This is where you absolutely want to look at. Right now it's displaying North America. Up top you can change that to another region. So make sure you're looking at this. This is where I would always point out to students that you want to analyze what's going on. You want to look at the different prices. So if I'm just glancing at North America, it looks like for the AC cameras, I have 225, 250, 220, 275. They're all, whoa, I almost said they're all in 200s, but actually K is 325. So if I recall correctly, K was a team that was somewhat in trouble. So to me, hey, is their price too high? I don't know. It just depends on other items. PQ rating. Actually, it looks like K has the highest rating. So they may say, well, that's why we're charging more. Maybe that would work in the long run. Not for sure. We don't have 2 practice rounds, so we really won't know until we get into the full-blown Globus simulation here. You can see the number of models. You have, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, so on and so forth. You can see the retail support, the website display, sales promotions. You want to look at all these gains and losses. You want to analyze as much as possible. This information will absolutely help you out. So if I go ahead and scroll down, we have the UAV drone segment. So the price, we have 1100, 1200, 100, or I'm sorry, 100, 1100, 1500, 1300, and then the variant we have K at 2500. So clearly they're charging the most, double, I think almost double than anyone else. You see the discount that the different teams provided. Then you look at the PQ rating. Then you say, well, K maybe thinks they should charge 2500 because they're at 6.6 PQ rating. Maybe, maybe not. See the different models. We got 221, 2212. Looks like 2 is the highest. Then you got your online retailers, your website displays, your search engine advertising, so on and so forth. You want to analyze all this. You got your gains, losses, your market share. So who's actually doing the best in North America? Okay, so make sure you're analyzing all this. If you do, you do fantastic. So you see at the bottom, you see the AC camera segment North America. You see the different axes. You see the price and PQ rating and the sales promotion advertising. So as you can see, K is high with the price and PQ rating. Well, as right now, that's not really working out too well for them. For the UAV drone segment for North America, pretty much everyone's bunched up for the most part. And then I could go ahead and analyze the other information, the regional average competitive effort, the time series competitive efforts, so on and so forth. These are the reports you want to look at. Okay, you even have more. The company operating reports, your performance highlights, assembly and facility operations, AC camera segment performance, UAV drone segment performance, so on and so forth. If you take the time, and when I'm saying you, I mean your team, if you take the time to look at this information, you will be able to tell within the results. Every team at the beginning struggled with trying to understand what may or may not work. That's business, right? Okay. What do you say? Most businesses won't make money for 5 years. They're trying to figure it out. So in theory, when we get to the full-blown version of the simulation, starting with year 6, by year 11, give or take, if you're in the top 5, you're doing good. Okay, you figured it out. Now we have 11 teams, so to me, I really probably shouldn't even say the top 5. It's really the difference between if the top team has 106 as their overall game rating, you definitely don't want to be at 55. You would want to be in the 90s at least, because you should be able to. So keep that in mind. And then, as always, please, please, please reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. I know for some people with online class, it's fantastic. It's really working out for the work schedule, the family schedule, so on and so forth. Then I also know there's a handful of people who would prefer this class to be in person. Keep in mind, I'm always here for you. I'm an email away, a telephone call away, Adobe Connect session away, so you're not on your own. And the best part is you have team members to assist you too. So yes, I know this is online class, but you're not on your own. So please feel free to reach out to me. Well, that's all I have, and I hope everyone has a great week.